Hi guys, it's Tony here from Signals Feed. It's Friday the 3rd of February, first Friday of the month, so that means it's non-farm payroll. And now, normally this is a major trading day for the US dollar. So we're going to have a look at what impact it's going to have on the markets today. Now, it's a critical time for the US dollar. It really needs to be a positive news today for the NFP to really try and turn it around and sort of gain a bit of strength behind the US again. So right now there's a little bit of support and resistance in the Australian US dollar, as you can see. Basically, I sent a signal out a while ago but around about this resistance line here. But as you can see, there's been a nice sort of downward trend. The US dollar at the moment is very strong, as you can tell. I'm actually using the option bot system right now a lot because of the US dollar. I want to know what exactly is happening with it. So I've set it up in my user settings, so it only alerts me to the US pairings. So I've just gone in and set up all the US dollar pairs, turned everything else off. And now what I can do is have a look in these trend alerts whenever it's moved a certain amount. So as you can see here, by the looks of it, across every single currency pair at the moment, the US dollar seems to be getting stronger. There's a put against the Great British Pound US dollar, which would mean that the US dollar is getting stronger. The US dollar is getting stronger against the Canadian dollar because there's a call on the Japanese yen too, and a put on against the euro. So everything suggests that the US dollar is getting very strong right now. In fact, there's been some large movements for the US dollar on a couple of them. Just find them a couple of spikes. So there's a nice downward trend there for the US dollar as well. And what else was it? I think the Great British Pound. See, yeah, there was a huge drop here in favour of the US dollar. So that would suggest that today's non-farm payroll could be good. This could be just early investors sort of just jumping on that bandwagon. But right now, I'm just going to have a look at the Australian US because basically, like I say, it's quite nice predictable spikes here. Although it's like a nice downward trend and the resistance is up here. What I've noticed on the expert option, just jump over to that asset. Okay, so what we're looking for is it to reach these peaks, and as it starts turning round, that's when we're going to place a trade in the opposite direction on this one. Now, it's steadily sort of declining. It's gone past its support line, which was sort of down here. I thought was a nice support line for it, but like I say, it's just broken past that. That's probably due to the news coming up in the US. So like I said, we're just going to keep an eye on it on the expert option now. The reason why I switched between the two, okay, is because on the option bot system, you get a good view over the past sort of 12 hours. You can see clearly what's happening with the market. You know, you see there's a major resistance line here, and it's very easy to read. You've also got a 3-day view to sort of make it a little bit easier to have a look at what's going on overall. So the past couple of days, the US has been sort of climbing back. The Australian dollar sort of just got away from itself there, and it was really doing well. Obviously with the state of the US at the moment, so you can get a good idea about what's going on over 3 days, and obviously you've got the month view as well, which is very handy. As you can see, this is where it's been sat comfortably for the past several weeks, and obviously there's news at the moment, so there's plenty of room for this US dollar to come back down now, you know. So this is what we're really anticipating at the moment. You know, can't sort of stay like that for too long, I don't imagine anyway. So yeah, so we're just going to keep an eye on that. We'll go back to the day view. So we're getting more signals here for in favour of the US dollar. Like I say, there's more Great British Pound US dollar that's picked up that movement 12 times now. For the Euro USD, it's picked up a downward movement to what I've got configured to 20 times. Okay, so as you can see, it's definitely looking better for the US dollar right now. So as you can see, we're hitting a little bit of support here now. It's just bounced down to this line several times, so it's worth just checking out the charts here. Now I'm switching between this one because it gives you a little bit more closer view within the minute. This software, option bot, it updates every 1 minute, so every sort of 60 seconds you'll get a new movement here. But in between this movement, there's a lot of more other movement like this. Okay, so this is really a lot more accurate for sort of 60-second trading, which is what we're recommending with these signals. So I prefer to use this. It's nice and clear. And now it's just hitting that support there. It's heading like it's going towards it. So we've got two options really. We can play with that new support line that's just popped up. It seems to have hit resistance there as well. So we're getting a little W pattern here. So right now it's worth just having a look what's going to happen. The USD could slip a little bit further, or it could be the end of that little bit of a run, and it could start just balancing out now. So really we just need to have a look what's going to happen. There is some news coming up in between from Europe and that lot, but we're not really focusing on that today. It's not really major impact event. So here we go. See, it's going back up now, so it might be worth, this is going to be one of them spikes. So as it's going back up, we're going to come back down. Okay, so it seems to be flattening out. There we go. I'm just going to place it there. We'll manage to get on that little spike there, which is even better. Okay, so as you can see, we're just waiting for these fluctuations, and then when we think it's going to turn back round, you know, we're going to go for it. Now, obviously, you're not going to be right 100% of the time, but it's a very good strategy to use if you can identify these patterns. Okay, and like I say, so we just need this to drop down a little bit more, and that would just be one of these fluctuations. Ooh, come on. I'll do a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, we was a little bit lucky with that one. I do believe it's going to drop again in a moment. So we'll wait for it to really sort of indicate it's dropping, and we'll jump on that. Okay, so I'm going to go there. It's been quite high for a good minute now, so yeah, it's got a good chance of dropping down. Let's have a look quickly on the chart here. See, yeah, it's just hitting that line there, so there's a good chance I've caught that in a very good position. There we go, just drop down a bit for me. There we go, perfect. Brilliant. Okay, quickly looking at the option bot again, just flicking here, as you can see, it's come to this point here, 07647, drop back down to this sort of support line here, about 07644, and again, popped up to 47. So like I say, you just got to be sort of looking at these patterns really. Now it seems to have just flattened off a little bit. Now we're waiting for it to drop again. Well, to be honest, it's sort of sitting in the middle. I prefer it to be either at the bottom or at the top. Really, you don't really want to be messing around in the middle. So here we go. It seems to be dropping down for us again now, and as soon as it starts turning round again, we'll trade in the opposite direction. So let it come down for a little bit more. We prefer to see it down here. See, it's just flattened out. As you can see, this last movement here on the option bot, it's just flattened out there. Okay, so yeah, just waiting for this really. It's just a patience game, you know, just wait for the right moment and then strike. You know, a lot of people sort of make the mistake of coming in a little bit too early. Do it on myself, you know. It's all about creating that right chance, and then if it doesn't come up, then you're better off not trading. You know, if you make a lot more money if you're a little bit more disciplined with your trades. So like I say, just hang on until that right moment. You want it to either come up here as it starts coming back down. We'll place that trade, or if it comes down a little bit further, we may be able to place a call. Just looking at the way that's just met that support there. So we'll keep an eye on it. Now, I haven't had too many signals from the US dollar over the past couple of minutes, so it's been 3 minutes since we've had one. So hopefully this may be a new little support line that's going to just sit there for a while and bounce around for a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that now, and hopefully we'll be able to place a couple of trades on that. Okay, so as we've been waiting, we've just seen this drop down to the support line here. This could give us an opportunity to place a call now. So as we can see, just wait for this to catch up. It seems to be on its way back up. I'm going to place a call now. I just missed that opportunity. Come on, I'm going to place another one here. That'll do. I've got to wait for this sort of expiry time now. I missed that one, so I've got to wait for a longer expiry. But hopefully it will just secure that win for me and stay up there. So yeah, I just flipped over. I had to wait because it was boring. So we just waited until that was just dropping down again. Flicked over and just placed this trade. So yeah, hopefully this will be another win on that little support line that's popped up on the Australian US dollar. I don't think it's going to drop any further, to be honest. Not had any more signals come up on the option bot since. The Great British Pound about half an hour ago actually had really sort of negative data coming out for the services PMI. So that had a really sort of big drop against the US dollar a moment ago. I'll show you that on the charts in a minute. So yeah, we're down to the last 30 seconds to this trade. Like I say, just pick that support line and just went with it really. Like I say, if you can pick out these patterns, then you can make a lot of money just trading that. You know, just go for short expiry times. And so I never really favoured 60-second trades before, but if you use this strategy, it's very effective. As long as you can pick out the patterns. Some days they're just not there. So wow, yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. Okay, so that drops us nicely in the money. See, as it's come up to this line now, I'd be tempted to place a put. You know, but it's coming up quite quick though. So look, I mean, this is just updated. There we go. It's just flicked up to there. So it's got some time to come up to this bit really, which is that sort of new resistance line it seems to have found. So it could be a put trade here. See, I don't like on this one, you have to zoom right out and sort of get the full view, so that's why I like to use the option bot. Although this doesn't update as quickly as this, it's easier to read. See, as you can see, I've got to zoom out and then you've got to zoom back in to make sure you get that correct strike point. So it's just a bit awkward. So using both systems, if you've not got access to the option bot system, I'll put a link down below. This is a good trend indicator. It's a good tool just for finding out what's happening in the market. If you want to specifically look at one asset, say for example today we're looking at the US dollar, we're just going to the user settings and pick the US pairings that you want to focus on. Say maybe you might not want the Swiss franc, you just want sort of Australia, the Great British Pound, US dollar, Euro, and some of the other major ones. Now I've selected them all because what I tend to do here is use it. You get a flood of signals in depending on how many of these you've got selected. So if you just want one or two of them selected, you get less trend alerts here, but they'll be focused on that particular asset. You won't get a load of useless information, which I think is very handy. So basically what I'm doing here is looking for the way that these signals are coming up and the way that they're paired up. So obviously, if you don't know this, but you may know this, so forget it if you do. But the way these currency pairs are lined up determines how it works on the chart. So if it's Great British Pound first and it's going up, then the Great British Pound is stronger. The US dollar is second. If it's going down, then the US dollar is stronger. Okay, so right now I've just got a new signal saying that the call on the Great British Pound, so that would suggest that the Great British Pound is getting stronger against the US now. So the US just had a good run. It seems to have stopped. The Great British Pound's pulling back on it, and so is the Japanese yen, and that's it at the moment. But basically, the way these are lined up, if you can see that all of them are sort of suggesting that one particular currency pair is strong, then that would suggest that overall that currency pair is strong. If you just see that one is stronger over the others, over one or two, and doing sort of not so well on another, that means that there's just a bit of volatility in their markets. But overall, if you see one that's going well over all currency pairs, then that's a good indication that it's going to have a good day on that, and you should be trading it. So, like I say, today I'm just going to be having a look on the US dollar, and it's all been about the US dollar recently in the past week. So, I think with you got the unemployment rate final figures and the non-farm payroll employment change or non-farm employment change and average hourly earnings all at 1:30 p.m. GMT, as you can see here on your economic calendar in the option bot too. Now, these are always going to be major indicators for the US dollar for the rest of the month. I always trade the non-farm payroll. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Over the past few days, it's been bad for the US. It's time for it to flip round. This is critical for it to really sort of recover. It seems to be on its way. There's a lot of early investors by the looks of it. Right now, it seems to be a bit of a mixed bag in these trends now. So like I said, the Great British Pound, it seems to be just pulling back a little bit on the US. The US dollar is slipping to the Japanese yen, obviously because the Japanese is second and it suggested a put, so that's stronger. But the US still stronger over the Canadian dollar and still stronger over the euro. Okay, so if we have a look at that euro USD, that's had 20 movements going down. As you can see, there's been a nice downward trend over the past sort of hour or so. The USD Canadian dollar, we'll see what that's looking like. Okay, yeah, so we've had a nice upward trend here from that. It's coming down, but it's not generated enough movement to move this to generate a signal. That's all down to the settings in the user settings. So right now I've got mine set to 5 pips in 10 minutes. So if it moves 5 pips within a 10-minute period, it will generate a signal for me. Okay, these signals aren't telling me to trade on that. It's just telling me that it's moved. So it's just a good indication good indicator of what's happening in the market at that time. And like I say, it's much easier to read right here for that support and resistance. So right now it's just come up to that resistance line there again as I've been talking. So we're going to have a quick look over here, see if we can jump on that. It might be too late. Okay, so we've got an expiry time coming up there. It's sitting quite high still. It's about time we traded that. I'm going to go for it. Put. Okay, so yeah, it's just hanging there at the moment, but it's definitely at that resistance there. Now, as I said, the USD seems to be getting, oh no, the Japanese yen is just pulling away again there against the US dollar. So we'll see what happens here. There we go, it's dropping a bit. Okay, so down to the last 30 seconds. It seems to be on its way back down. Hopefully it will stay down here now. Okay, so yeah, there we go. And it's come right back down again. So if we go to option bot, we might be able to pick up on that. Yeah, it's just updated there. So it's coming back down. which is exactly what we want. We just wanted to wait on these lines, and once it comes back up again, we'll trade in the opposite direction. It does seem to be sitting comfortably between that support and resistance line here. So yeah, just find these opportunities and just trade like this, and you should make money. You know, it's quite simple. It's just a patience game. If the opportunities aren't coming up, then take a step back and come back another time. And like I say, the markets are constantly changing. Once this news comes out in a US dollar, I'd imagine it won't look anything like this. You know, so by the time you come to watch this video, it probably won't look anything like this. So just wait for them opportunities and just go for it then. Let's say there's plenty of them coming up. You know, just have a look at the calendars, see what events are coming up, what currency pairs are going to be affected by that, and just take advantage of that. So right now it's at its lowest point. There's a good chance it's going to come back up. So let's see what's going to go on here. We'll wait for it. We'll see what's going up, and I just want to see it happen in the video, you know. So it's coming right up now. As you can see on here, it's right at that support line. It's just capping out a little bit like it did last time. It's done that a couple of times now, and it just flipped back round again. Okay, so that US dollar looks like it's getting a little bit stronger. Since we're just breaking through that, you'll see it drop down now here. Or it may just go flat. See, this is the thing about the option buy. It's a great system for looking at historical views on the charts, but in between these movements you do miss quite a few fluctuations, and these are the fluctuations that you really need to make these 60-second trades work. You really want to catch it, because every pip helps. You know, if you traded here, you know, instead of down here, it landed anywhere in the middle, you know, you would have lost if you placed a call. So like I say, sometimes just 1 or 2 pips is crucial, which unfortunately sometimes you get a little bit of lag on these systems. So like I say, you just got to compensate for that as well. So right, it just seems to be coming back down now. Could be a good call coming up in a minute. Let's have a look what's going on these charts. See, yeah, there we go. It's just slipped down a little bit. Yeah, you see, it's just come back up. So it would have been a call trade there. Like I say, I prefer to keep it on this resistance line. Overall, I think the US dollar is going to start to get a little bit stronger across the board. So just have a look at the rest of the US dollar pairs. So you've got Euro USD. There's definitely a nice trend there in favour of the US dollar. Great British Pound. There's a big movement here. This was down to the negative data for the services PMI, I'm guessing. So that data's come out. It's just dropped like that. So there's not really a trend now. As you can see, the Great British Pound seems to be coming back up, if I'm honest. But that'll just be an initial reaction. We'll see how the US gets on for the rest of the day. New Zealand. Okay, so really predictable resistance here. Look, I mean, we've got a nice resistance line up the top here, and a new resistance line here. So again, we could play some trades on this, and may actually send out some signals on this later. We'll see what happens with the US dollar. But that is, I mean, normally I wouldn't sort of, you can't identify a trend or anything with this, but because it's so volatile and it's sort of moving sort of quite large amounts, you know, if we have a look on the chart, we'll probably on a live chart we'll probably be able to get some trades on that as well. So let's have a quick look on that. Okay, it's not available to me at the moment. That's probably because it's so predictable. Yeah, that'd be a good one to get on. If you've got it on another trading platform, then I'd have a look at it. But like I say, that'd be a good one to play some 60-second trades on, because it's just up, down. So you just play that game. If it hits that resistance, go in the opposite direction, wait for it to come up, hit resistance, come back down. So again, it's so we're back on the Australian US dollar. Let's have a look at this. So that's come back up again by the looks of it. Yeah, see, this is where that low bit was. It's come back up here now, sort of sitting in the middle. So again, allow it to come back up, and then just see if you can get back on that fluctuation, and make your trade accordingly. Like I say, the original resistance line was up here, but quite clearly, since that news has come out, the US dollar just pulled a little bit back. It's had some new resistance here. So like I say, just sort of judge it accordingly. Obviously, if it shoots up past that, then take a minute, take a step back, let the market settle, and see if you can spot something else. Okay, so like I say, we're giving signals out all day, and obviously we're recording these sessions for all our traders. So like I say, click on the link down below for Signals Feed and join our private Signals group. It's completely free, and you can test it out with one of these demos, and you can get access to Option Bot for 7 days for free as well. So check out that. There's a link down below for that too. And yeah, just get involved, guys. Yeah, Signals Feed. Take care. Bye bye.